Hey everyone, Elias here. Just want to do a quick video on something that has really helped me a lot in this past semester. So just want to make a little video on it. So basically, I'm going to go over how you can take the 2024 class study guide. You can take these questions and turn them into an Anki deck. And when I first learned how to do this, it took me 2 hours of just rummaging through Anki forums. It was awful. So I just wanted to make this 5-minute video. So if anyone wants to do this, they can. Because the thing about these study guides and the questions is cardio has I don't know, 800, over 800 questions, right? So that's a lot of note cards. And these are really helpful. They go pretty in depth, but I found them to be pretty good if you do it lecture by lecture. So let's just get into it. So you can just copy from the Google spreadsheet here, but I'm going to go ahead and just download this class of 2024 Excel sheet. Awesome. I'm going to open it up. Awesome. So again, we have our drugs, we have our farm questions, CA questions, CM questions. So because we're in CV2, I'm going to go ahead to let me see one of these. Let's do, I gotta do one I haven't done before. So I'm gonna do axis and vectors, okay? So let's say we just wanted to make note cards for the questions for axis and vectors, that EKG lecture, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to copy and paste these questions. Awesome. And we're gonna find EKG lecture 4. There it is, sorry. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna shift and select all these questions and copy. Then we're gonna create a new Excel sheet just for these. So here are all our questions for axis and vectors, that lecture, right? So we have one column is questions, the other column is answers. So what we're gonna be able to do is we're gonna be able to turn each one of these question answer into its own note card using Anki. I'm going to jump a little bit ahead just so you can kind of see where this is all going. We're going to use this import file function, right? So you use this import file function on Anki, and you can import what are called comma separated value documents. So it's just another type of document. You can say, you can save this Excel sheet as a comma separated value. They're called CSVs, and then you import into Anki. So what we're going to do is we got to do two things to make this work, right? So because this is going to be a comma separated value, commas are going to separate each question and answer. And then every line break is going to separate one note card from the next, right? So we can't have commas in the question, right? Because then it's going to think it's a new card. So we're going to find, we can press Control F to open this, find comma, replace with semicolon. Great. Next up, this took me a while to figure out. We're going to find all of our line breaks, maybe one of these. We're going to find all our line breaks and replace them. So what we do is we go into find what, and we're going to press Control J. Okay, Control J is your line break button, right? And we're going to replace with really whatever you want. I do a / space. And then when you replace, see how that used to be a line break, but now it's / space? There you go. So now we replaced all the commas and we replaced all the line breaks. That way Anki will see this as the question, this is the answer, and then the line break between this and these two will show a new note card, if that makes sense, right? Because if there's a line break in the answer, then Anki would think it's like a new note card. So yeah, so what we do is we take this question Excel sheet. We're going to save as, really save it wherever you want. Let's do, this is what, EKG lecture 4, CSV. So save as type. So we're going to save as a CSV UTF-8, okay? You want to use this one and not the older one. The UTF-8 just works better in general. So we're going to save as a comma separated value. Awesome. So then we go into Anki. we're going to have to create a deck to put all these into, right? So we're going to create a new deck. Let's see. We're going to create one called EKG Lecture 4 Axis. Sure. So EKG Lecture 4 Axis. So this is just an empty deck at this point, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to import, and we select the EKG Lecture 4, open. And now the field separator, remember this is a comma separated value, so we don't want semicolons, we want commas. See, there we go. What is a mean vector? The sum of all, the sum of all small vectors. So now what we got to do is we're going to do the note type. I would just do basic. You don't want to do close because that won't work. And then you can set each column to some part of the note card. It's going to automatically do this part correctly. Now, important, make sure you select the right deck, because I spent like 20 minutes getting confused why all of these were saving into the same deck. So anyway, EKG Lecture 4 Axis, because that's the deck we made, right? Okay, so then we're going to import. Look at that, 37. And then we can go, and then, just like that, what does it mean? Vector, the sum of all vectors. Now, this has helped me so much because I really like making my own cards, but this saves a ton of time, and you can actually spend a lot more time studying. And I can make another video on how to turn these into Quizlets for people who use Quizlet. It just takes one extra step. Obviously, you don't import into Anki, but you do one extra step in the CSV. So I can kind of do that next. Okay, I hope everyone enjoys. And I would play music, but I'm actually worried that it might be copyrighted. So I'm going to just leave it here. Okay, thanks guys.